Welcome everybody to Supercars and Vistas 2018 Calgary Auto Show. First auto show after Geneva 2018, which was a great success. We're here with a beautiful Audi R8 V10 Plus. Beautiful color in the green, very similar with the Huracan. But let's see what the show is all about. So here we are in my living room. No, it's not the end of the clip. That would be hilarious. But there is a story behind this video clip that I want to share with you. So I was at the show and I had 3 cameras with me. And I wanted to start shooting, and I realized 2 of my cameras were discharged. So I used the 3rd camera, which wasn't very good at shooting video. It's pretty good at shooting still pictures, but that was all I had. And I really wanted to shoot something about it, that Calgary Auto Show. And it took me 3 weeks to decide what should I do with that content, because it wasn't very good, especially the video. It was pretty lousy. So I decided to edit, and after I edited just the image, I got rid of all the audio. I decided to put voice over picture, which is not the preferred way of creating a video content, because I think diminishes the quality of the video. But I really wanted to share this experience with you, and this is the end result. Enjoy it. So let's start with Audi R8 V10 Plus Spider. On the light side, we have LED headlights with audio laser lights feature and LED rear lights. This is all brand new for this vehicle. You'll see a lot of carbon fiber through, in and out, which is very nice. We love carbon fiber. On the wheel side, we have 10-spoke Y design with titanium finish, 245 tires in the front, 305s in the back, all carbon fiber reinforced ceramic discs. On the side we have a carbon Sigma side blade. That's a signature for this car. On the engine stays a 5.2 liter V10 mid-rear mounted that has direct injection and develops 602 horsepower at 8,250 RPM and 413 pound-foot of torque at 6,500 RPM. It's not a light car. It weighs 2,070 kilograms, almost 4,100 pounds. But even so, it can reach 100 kilometers an hour in 3.4 seconds with a top speed of 328 kilometers an hour, which is over 200 miles an hour. The steering wheel, it's dynamic steering with speed-sensitive power assist. And as I mentioned, you can see the central console, all carbon fiber, and on the dash around the cluster instruments, it's carbon fiber. Very nice vehicle. I really like the green stitching contrast on the black leather. Welcome Lamborghini Urus, the brand new SUV launched by Lamborghini in Geneva a few weeks ago. The fastest SUV ever built, or at least that's what Lamborghini claims. The Y-shape LED inserts in the taillights and front lights is a signature for Lamborghini. And looking at the front grille, it's very aggressive, carrying the motive of Lamborghini, which is the hexagon, or the sesto elemento, or the 6th element. The bottom cut on the headlights, it's kind of oddish, but it is the Audi family at the end of the day. Very aggressive wheels, 23-inch, and look at those brake calipers, which sits on carbon ceramic brakes. It gives you an idea how powerful this vehicle is. 4-liter twin-turbo V8, 641 horsepower, brings the vehicle to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.6 seconds. The hexagon is carried on through the vehicle, and we see here on the seats with the contrast stitching very nice. And the vehicle is full of carbon fiber inserts like the door panel and the air vents, again in a hexagon shape. What can we say? A lot of things about the vehicle. It is a power SUV, the adaptive suspension, 48 volts, and the distribution of the torque front back. Very, very sophisticated technology. Lamborghini also brought the Huracan Spider, launched in 2016 in Frankfurt. It's a very well-known car by now. It has a beautiful naturally aspirated V10 5.2-liter engine that has a 602 horsepower, bringing this vehicle to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.4 seconds. The signature double Y inserts in the headlights, it is characteristic for the Huracan. Transmission, a Lamborghini Doppia Frizione, or the LDF, the way we call it in English, is dual clutch. It's not as roomy as the coupe, but the Spider still stays one of the most desirable supercar because of the presence on the road and the performance. And of course, we cannot have an auto show without an Aventador. The only Y-shaped insert in the headlight is characteristic for the Aventador, which I think comes to an end from a serious perspective. But let's move to Ferrari. Ferrari brought the 488 GTB. This vehicle was revealed in March 2015 in Geneva. So, 3 years old vehicle. Most of the performance of the vehicle is well known and is the first famous mid-engine twin-turbo Ferrari ever built. Still, a lot of people think the 458 with the naturally aspirated it's a better car, but the 488 still has impressive performance. 3.9-liter V8 turbo that has a 661 horsepower brings this vehicle to 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3 seconds and to 200 kilometers an hour in 8.3 seconds. Ferrari claims that the vehicle has 50% more downforce than 458. So, still very beautiful. I really like the air intake on the side, which is a reminder or similar to the 308 GTB. Also, Ferrari brought in the 488 GTB Spider. This was a design by Flavio Manzoni, which won the Red Dot Best of Best for Product Design in 2016. It's 50 kilograms heavier than the coupe, and it was launched in Frankfurt in 2015 in September. Now let's move to BMW, a brand very close to me because I own an M BMW. What we have here is the brand new M5 in Marina Bay Blue Metallic, which was presented in 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show. It is the first edition, built only 400 of them with the X-Drive, 591 horsepower that has an 8-speed automatic transmission, which replaces the 7-speed dual clutch. We'll see how it goes without the dual clutch. But also we have the BMW M2, satin green metallic, very nice color. The Mini Sport, it's a 6-inline engine with a 3-liter turbo, brings this vehicle to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.3 seconds. The M2 still has the 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Let's move to BMW i8 Roadster. This hybrid vehicle, originally launched in 2014, finally becomes convertible in 2018. The powertrain was modified, gaining 12 more horsepower, bringing the total power of the vehicle at 369 horsepower. And also, the vehicle now can go in electric mode 3 more miles. Because the nature of the vehicle being convertible, a few things needs to be changed. It has brand new suspension, the front bonnet was modified, the speaker arrangement in the vehicle was modified too. But let's move to Acura NSX. This has a strange story. It was announced in 2007, canceled in 2008, revived in 2010, produced in 2015, and finally presented at NAIAS, the North American Auto Show. It is a hybrid 3.5 twin-turbo V6 and 3 electric motors, having 600 horsepower and 9-speed dual clutch. Now let's look at one of my favorite brands, Aston Martin, and what do we have here? The DB11, which debuted in 2016 in Geneva, is a replacement for the DB9. If you wonder what happened with DB10, this stayed as the Spectre vehicle, a James Bond car. So, what's new in DB11? New aluminum platform. The Volante, which is the convertible version, was launched in 2018, this year in Geneva, but only with a V8. The V12, it's a 5.2-liter twin-turbo, making this vehicle the first Aston Martin turbocharged production car. 600 horsepower, bringing the vehicle to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.8 seconds. But also, Aston Martin brought in the V12 Vantage S. The Vantage has 18 variants, and it was originally launched in 2005, and the V12 came in 2009, with the 12S launched in 2013. This is the fastest Vantage ever produced. Let's move to Honda. They brought the Type R, they brought a classic 1972 first edition Honda Civic, and of course side by side in the similar blue but the better blue 10th edition Honda Civic. This we have it here in a sport trim. But let's talk a little bit about the Type R. He holds the record in Nürburgring Nordschleife for 7 minutes and 43 seconds for a four-wheel drive production car. He has a 2-liter turbo engine, 310 horsepower, 295 foot-pound of torque. But the classic still remains a classic. Look at that bumper. Reminds us of old times. Yes, Honda Civic remains one of the most desirable Honda in their lineup. And the Honda Civic hatchback that we have it here is still one of the coolest hatchback in the market. The 1972 Honda Civic first edition, a few fun facts. It cost $2,200. It had an engine of 1.17 liter that produced 50 horsepower and had 2 transmissions, one in 4-speed manual and one in 2-speed automatic. Cool. I will end this tour of the Calgary Auto Show with visiting McLaren stand, presented by Fav Vancouver. By the way, thank you, Fav, for coming to Calgary and presenting us those beautiful cars. So what we have here, it's a 570S from their Sport Series and a 675 LT and a 720S from the Super Series. In my view, McLaren are one of the most beautiful car design in the last decade, coupled with an astonishing performance. Here the 675 LT probably sets the benchmarks for the cars in the 675 horsepower range, and it is considered one of the best supercars in the current market. I haven't driven this car, but all the reviews I've seen and read praises the 675 LT powertrain with a perfect balance between road and track ability. The 720S that we have here in a beautiful burgundy color, it was somehow controversial in terms of reviews of presence on the road, especially the headlights cluster design, which is a combination of headlight and intake. However, from a design point of view and how the car stands on the road, I find it very attractive. I think that from a performance point of view, everybody agrees that it is an exceptional supercar. I hope one day I will be able to drive one of those beautiful vehicles. And that was the show. It was pretty busy and a lot of people, it was very hard to take a shot. But because we're in Western Canada, I'm finishing beside this wonderful truck left with police lights. I hope you guys enjoy it, and probably the kids and the big guys that, you know how they say, we are still kids with big toys. I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you.